Sorry, I should have
No,
done
that's
that.
good. That's good.
No, that's good.
Thank you. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Tackle the Beholder, our continual campaign set in the Forgotten Realms. Nice. Yeah.
Let's go. I was like anticipating it that time. Sometimes I missed it, so I wanted to be right on.
I just as yeah.
My name is Liam Stanfield, and I am the dungeon master for this game. Go ahead.
Milo King.
Yeah.
My name is Matthew, and I'm playing Ronan.
I'm JD and I'm Dane. I'm True and I'm Jonah.
Yeah.
Nikki and I'm Saren.
I'm Daly, and I am Vide.
Perfect. We're very grateful to have you back again, and we hope you enjoy this episode. In our last game, you all were... oh shoot, I can't read my own stuff. You all were enjoying the festivities that Nashkel had to offer. With the Fede Festival only a day after your arrival, patience and leisure was exercised for your continual trip towards Baragost and therefore to Candlekeep. You enjoyed the festivities that the day had for you. The food and games in the Verdun Esplanade proved entertaining, if not completely frustrating for some of you. And then you spent an evening at the Northern Light, sharing your goals and various backgrounds that you wished to share, as well as getting in some celebratory holiday money-making opportunities. Helda, a member of this group which was providing such experiences, introduced herself to you and explained some of the expectations of this sprint of the summer court that her more hushed about group, The Room, was putting on. Which, by the way, you all easily won. It was a pretty close towards the end, but as far as the other two teams, you just totally left them in the dust with a well-placed grease spell and some T-posing scares in the middle of the the first bit of it in the tall grass. After which a few of you participated in a no rules fight pit kind of scenario, to which Jonah came out victorious of the latter. You two, not so much, but you made your money back, which is important. After which you celebrated for a bit, went back into town, and found yourself with an evening's rest. You woke up the next morning, got yourself some breakfast, and prepared for the day ahead, and we find you all in the Northern Light, preparing and conversing in whatever way that you may desire. So, what's first on your agenda?
All right, up and at 'em. Let's get moving. Off to Baragost. Get there immediately. DM,
Yes,
what season is it?
summer. The Fede Festival is the midsummer festival.
Very good.
The sprint of the summer court.
Sprint of the summer.
Usually.
Good question.
Get the armor back on again.
So I'm wearing full winter gear then? No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds good. You do know that Brahm is prepared to help you purchase horses for this journey ahead. It's a bit of a longer jaunt, so some preparations will probably need to be made.
Cool. Well, then I'll go with Brahm to get the horses together and get them set up so that they're ready to march out of the inn.
Right. As you probably tried to sleep in a little bit, but got up, your body woke itself up at the regular time.
Yep.
What is the regular time?
6 a.m. for Jonah. Yeah.
Early morning.
Mm-hmm.
Adventurers like to sleep in, man. It's part of the gig.
Mm-hmm.
But you made your way to the nearby livery, and easily enough you're provided with enough horses for... How many horses are you purchasing?
I'm probably trying to acquire 5, assuming if we can get 6, we will get 6. But I'm assuming that Vide will want to keep Saren close, so probably we'll ride the same horse.
They are...
Like 4 horses and 1 pony.
Sure, yeah, a mule or something.
No, pony.
Pony.
No, thank you. No donkeys here.
Um,
Thank you very much.
At a well-reduced cost for pack horses at 10 gold pieces each. You can have your pick of them, whether you get 5 or 6, or try and get a pony or a mule of some kind.
Here, but retroactively, could I have taken some opinions of whoever was up?
As you recall back to earlier in the morning.
I seem to recall asking, who wanted a full-size horse? Did anybody want to share a horse? Or does everybody just want their own full-size horse?
I would take my own, but I can share.
I worry that sharing may slow us down. We're all pretty big. We've got quite a bit of supplies and armor and
Fair.
heavy weaponry. I don't know that sharing is too good of an idea.
Sure.
We'd like a pony.
Got it.
Like maybe a slightly smaller horse.
Got it.
I want a larger horse.
You're a larger man.
Yes, I'll need 5 regular riding horses and 1 smaller horse if you have it.
That can be arranged. Let me get that for you. Is there anything in particular? Would you like some extra feed bags for them, or?
Oh, definitely. Enough for a journey to Baragost, which is...
That is about a 30-hour ride.
Perfect.
It's about 112 miles north of here, so I can get you prepared for that.
Perfect.
That at the cost of an additional gold, I can get that done.
So that'll be altogether, what, 61?
66 gold pieces.
66 gold. Oh, an extra gold each.
Yes.
I see.
It's you're provided with about a day and a half's journey of feed, especially since this is such a big favor for me. Taking him up to Baragost and such, I'm happy to help accommodate for that.
Perfect. I'm not using a calculator to do very simple math right now. I am just searching through my brain.
Look, we're not math majors.
That's,
We're theater kids, man. But
most of us.
Some of us are.
Bailey's a theater kid.
At
He's a
heart.
theater kid right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a thespian.
Whether you like it or not, you are.
Yeah.
Registered.
Yeah.
Well,
Or you-
no.
Let me see your thespian membership card, okay?
Oh, don't worry. I dangle it over his head. The fact that he doesn't have one.
I just act like it's real, which makes me the real actor here.
I might be the only
Holy
thespian
cow.
bully like that.
I can't, guys. He's the only one who's acting like he's an actor. That makes him more of an actor than the rest.
Don't tell him
That's what he
that.
said.
Hey, he's the
There's
only
two
one here
layers.
who can do math. He
The
can only do one thing. Just kidding.
the horses and pony are provided to you.
Perfect. I
As
hand
we,
over the gold.
as you hand over the gold, he greatly accepts it. I appreciate it, and I hope they all get there safely.
Sure. Speaking of which, can I just borrow some rope to tie them together? I don't think Brahm and I can handle taking back all these horses on our own.
Right. That can also be arranged. And he
Thank
goes
you.
to the back. He goes to the stalls.
Like a
and-
kindergarten rope, like
Yeah.
tied to them in a little line.
yeah, pretty much. he provides you a couple 50 feet bundles of rope just
Perfect.
for your personal use.
Excellent.
Is there anything else that any of you would like to do in town before hitting the road?
If we're ready.
Have I ridden a horse before? Maybe.
Not really.
Okay.
You've ridden on the back of a horse with Fide for a day or two before joining the Bywin Cart Company, and you've been around a lot of horses, but in your time here in this various region, but ridden one personally, not so much.
Where
Just
are
good.
we riding to right now? We're not going straight to Candlekeep, are we?
So that is up to you.
What's the
we're
route?
going to Bear Ghost, which is pretty much right next to Candlekeep, right?
But that was only because the
Yeah.
cart stopped there, so we could just go right.
I guess
to
that's
the-
true. That might be the vibe then.
We shall travel to Candlekeep.
Yes.
In preparation, I would probably halter Saren's horse somehow, and have somewhat of a lead rope attached to my gear, but then also still have it bridled just in case something goes wrong and she does need to take control.
Oh man, I
Almost.
got training wheels.
Almost, yeah, basically training wheels.
We actually hook up like a little trailer to your horse. So like,
Just because I know she's not as experienced with managing horses.
Makes sense. It's a good preventative measure. Brahm takes a moment as he's gone back with you, and you're asking each other the question of, are we heading straight to Candlekeep? Are we going to Baragost? So he shows you a map of the surrounding region, which I will send to your group chat right now.
ooh.
Just of the immediate vicinity, as he kind of points it out. Now remember, if you can take these up to Baragost and deposit them at the first livery that you find, that would be well appreciated.
That's right. That's
We
right.
did.
And I mean,
And from
it's
from
right
there,
on the other side of
yeah,
Baragost, so
from there it is not too terribly far.
I was not spelling Baragost right at all.
That's okay.
There we go.
We refuse to go to Baragost.
We'll be going out of our way to go around through the water.
The Damon livery. It's the partner livery to the Damon livery that they have here. Well, it has been a very weird time knowing you all. But I do appreciate the help. Everything that you've done, it's been really nice. I appreciate it.
You're a good man, Brahm.
Thank you.
Anytime you need anything, let any of us know.
What is your plan? Are you...
Well, I'll stay here a couple more days with the kids and eventually find my way back up to Waterdeep. See what holds there for us, I suppose. And who knows? Maybe you'll see the Bywin Cart Company circling around again.
I hope we do.
I want to give him a hug before we leave.
As you kind of run up and wrap your arms around him, he gives one back. He smiles. You've broken past the harder exterior that you first met him with.
Brahm will not forget this.
Yeah. Brahm will remember this. Well,
Good luck to you, Brahm.
We wish you safer travels.
you too. Now, better get out of here before the day grows too late. You have a long trek ahead of you.
That we do.
As you... Yeah. As you all...
Well, giddy up, fella.
Okay.
And with
For
it,
this journey, your horses travel at about 3 miles per hour at a regular pace. And you can ride at a faster pace for an hour per 10-hour period without wearing out the horses. So altogether for the 112 miles, it comes out to be 30 hours of travel altogether. So you can go as long as you wish, take breaks when you wish, and whenever you decide to hunker down, or bunk down, I was like one or the other, and I chose both. Along the path, wherever you see a nice spot maybe to make a camp, you'll probably be wanting to keep that in mind. So,
Is there kind of an amount of time that horses can go before wearing out?
yeah, you probably don't want to push them past the 10-hour mark.
Okay.
That's what I figured. We'd
Yeah,
probably
it
go
was
from like
8 hours is like comfortable for them, but especially since you're just taking them to where they will be resting, you can push them to about 10 hours.
we're probably looking at 2 breaks or so.
Yeah. We'll take probably 12 hours of travel, but with only 10 of them with the horses actually moving. So room for 2 1-hour breaks, 1 2-hour break, whatever we need.
Looking at about 3 long days.
Yes.
Aye.
Or 4 shorter ones, I suppose. But
As we're kind of like, clopping along the trail.
Mhm.
When we're in Baragost, is that right? When we're in Baragost, I have a short stop I need to make anyway, so I'm glad we're gonna end up going.
Sure. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to gather our wits about us anyway before we go to Candlekeep.
Absolutely. Hopefully it won't take too long, but
have
I
you
need to get it done.
been?
Yeah, a while back.
Is it a
I have a
lively,
friend there, actually.
lively town, or what's it like?
Wait, what?
Is it a lively town, or what's it like?
DM, would you describe this town as would I describe this town as lively?
From your time there, your few weeks of experience and meeting people and helping around, you remember that it is a larger town. It's got a population currently of about a little over 1,000 people.
Okay.
It is it's semi-industrialized in the sense that everyone is kind of working together to support their own community. They're not so much as interested in the trade system that a lot of the towns along this route are, such as Greenrest and Nashkel, but they do take their religious worship very seriously. It is the governor of the town that you recall is the high priest of Lathander, and he is the unofficial designated ruler of the town, I suppose, of the city.
So I kind of recite that a little bit, a little less detailed, but
Compared to Nashkel, size-wise, what are...
It's smaller.
Smaller than Nashkel.
Nashkel was a semi-large trade route spot because it is the connection through the Nimue Pass from the region of Am up into the Western Heartlands. There's one main pass that cuts through the Cloud Peaks, and right there is Nashkel. So it's a fairly larger city. Nashkel was like population 2,500.
Okay.
This one is about half as big.
Sounds like a nice place.
well, that's actually why I'm going. I got a friend. Well, I had a friend who was there, and I want to see if I can pay some respects when we're going through. Should be quick.
Sure. I mean, it's important.
So we still don't really know much about getting into Candlekeep, do we?
All I know is
We need knowledge.
it requires some kind of, sacrifice of material, like, I assume reading material, or an artifact, maybe. And I don't have much of that, so I will need some of that in Baragost as well. Oh, there's a bookstore back there, wasn't there?
I did stop by the bookstore. I do have a couple of their books. Or maybe books that I found while we were adventuring. I don't remember where I got them actually, but I do have a couple books.
We were given a bundle of books to deliver, correct?
Do you recall that in your notes?
Oh,
Or-
sorry, that wasn't me.
No.
Forgot.
That's you.
I
It
opened
wasn't you, but
I say, it looks like my books are titled Ahaean Arcanis and Apsoheakis. But no, I do not remember where I got them. I believe it was on our adventures sometime.
It does sound pretty
Obscure.
right, so maybe the library doesn't have a copy yet.
Mayhaps. We shall see.
We're also we're delivering another package, I assume, is another book to Candlekeep as well. The same person who gave us those books, I believe.
so
Same day.
you picked up Apsoheakis and Alteus Arcanis from the wreckage of the Sindel trading cart that you found in Heimdalheim's lair. And you have a bundle of books that was given to you from Cassandra, the Candlekeep lady in session 0.
Yes, yes.
Do you recall who you're supposed to give them to?
Fellow named Darian.
Is that what you have written down?
Wasn't he like?
What's his character sheet?
This is where I take my notes.
Oh, I see, I see.
Is he like a tome guard or a book
The
keeper?
okay, you
I
remember.
rack my memory.
You rack your memory and remember that
I rack it.
that is supposed to be delivered to.
About very averagely.
Okay, very averagely you remember that bundle in particular is supposed to be, gosh dang it, it's supposed to be delivered to the gate warden, is what you were told. You
were
were
almost there.
Maybe it's gonna be Darian.
the bookkeeper. Yeah, maybe his name will be Darian. But and in return you were given a letter of recommendation to assist with your tribute to enter into Candlekeep. It is not the tribute itself, but it is an assistant.
I have also, I'd completely forgotten that I had this, but it seems that I have a letter of recommendation of some sorts here.
Well, that helps
That is
too.
good.
Is that an umbrella letter of recommendation, or how does it read?
Well, I'm sure that if I'm being recommended along with Kane, then our recommendations must also count for something if it's not an umbrella kind of effect.
I see.
But we shall see.
Well, when we get to Baragos, maybe we'll look around for any extra tomes or anything we can find. Maybe an antique bookshop or something, but
Of the sort.
hopefully that can just get us in what?
Of the sort.
Of the sort, yeah. But if not, we'll find a way.
From what I hear, the Coastway holds some mysteries around, so worst case scenario, we may have to do some adventuring.
Aye.
Right.
The mysteries we need to enter the city Candlekeep.
Indeed.
The mysteries of Candlekeep.
Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, though.
I think that it rolls off the tongue very nicely.
I think it's great. I think if there were a book by the title of that, it would be amazing. And
Yeah,
a very good
it would probably be a very good book that would inspire us to do a Dungeons and Dragons
book. It
campaign.
probably would be
Yeah,
very
something
good.
like that.
Yeah, very inspiring.
So, DM question.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, we're traveling along the Cloud Peaks.
Yep.
That looks like that's mostly all we kind of have scenic-wise from here to there. Are there any, like, stories or tales or anything that I may have heard about this area that may spark some interest or be worth, like,
Some
who knows if this
investigation.
is
maybe.
real?
Why don't you make a history check?
I'd like to take an apple from my satchel
Okay.
and feed it to my pony. I say, "There's a good lass, fella."
That's great.
It's an 18.
An 18. In this region of the Cloud Peaks specifically, actually just this kind of part of the western heartlands, you don't know terribly much about the mountainous areas. You've heard of the dangers of going through unofficial paths and stuff. There are rumors of giants and large beasts, and in the colder sections, wandering tribes of barbaric folk, and maybe something about flame-breathing monsters. You're not quite sure, but along this road, the only kind of perils or adventures that you really kind of recall are just the tales of wandering troubadours and rogue bandits that lay await for unsuspecting caravans and riders such as yourselves.
Okay. The first part of this journey, at least, I assume the Cloud Peaks are at least in sight. We are quite a ways off of them, right?
Yeah, you're about 30-ish miles, especially in the earlier portion of your travel. So we'll say only about an hour into your journey, as you're kind of mulling this over, you can see the Cloud Peaks. They're relatively close. It's like only 30 miles away from you.
I'll probably take some time and tell some stories to Saren, at least. Not quietly, so like if anyone's listening. I'll just be telling stories I may have heard about the Cloud Peaks and
Just classic.
filling time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saren is living for this. Just having him just kind of freely talk and tell
The
stories.
Bard song version's really good.
Yeah, especially with the little bits of embellishment from what you remember. You hear fantastical stories about giant kings and heroes climbing to the tops of the mountains to meet with great spirits who send them on wondrous journeys and adventures. It's pretty nice, and it takes up a lot of the time. So for this first bit of the journey, is there anything in particular that you wish to talk about or do or keep an eye out for?
I'd say I might try to take lead for a lot of the journey, especially if Vide's talking and keeping the party entertained.
Okay.
And so, if you'd like to keep up with me, we might keep at like the lookout position of like
Yeah.
keep an eye on the road.
I was
for
gonna
safety.
say I'd do that, but maybe I'll be in the back.
Okay, that works
So-
too. Or yeah, either way.
Okay, in that case, why don't you both make perception checks? You could assist each other if you choose to travel together, but if you're in the front and you're in the back, then for now, for this one, it's separate.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18.
4, 5.
5. Don't you get a +5 on your... don't you get a bonus to your perception
That's
checks?
my passive.
Your passive? It doesn't affect your regular perception at all?
It didn't say.
It doesn't.
I believe you can't be surprised, though, right?
That's the alert feed.
Oh, is that not what you
Oh, he took observant.
Yeah, he took observant, which...
I took observe.
That's okay. You're not feeling very observant at the moment, but that's all right. You don't notice anything. For the first handful of hours, nothing catches your eye. You see there are some wandering droves of cattle and other livestock that belong to kind of some of the farther out farmlands, people that may do some livestock trade along the way. You pass by a couple of people heading in the opposite direction as you, heading, at this point they're heading southeast, but nothing too distinctive or impressive.
Okay. I'll wave at people we pass.
You get some waves back.
Saren is
No, okay.
also
Yeah.
with us. That's Saren behind. You're like waving like she's like, you know.
As the hours go by, as you make your trek along the high road, looking over the vast plains surrounding the Wood of Sharp Teeth and in between the cloud peaks in there, it's an oddly serene scene, and it gives you all a moment to reflect on some of your journeyings that you've had not 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days. How this all started, where it all came from, what you plan to do, and how you plan to get there. And it's at around, you guys left at 8. At about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you do spot something. You see there's about maybe 400 feet off the road, heading northern towards the wood. There is a horse and a rider that is dismounted next to a slightly familiar looking outcropping of hill or something, and just something about it is kind of reminiscent. You're not quite sure. Well, whether you remember or not.
Does it remind us of the wandering wanderer?
It does remind you of that.
Is it?
But you see the
So
ride.
same
The
way?
rider is, as you're just kind of peering off. It's a little hard to tell from this distance, but it looks like he's dismounted his horse and he is just up next to this thing.
Is it like fully standing? Is it moving at all, or is it like similar to the one that we kind of stopped and is now in a mound in the ground? kind of thing?
It's hard to tell from this distance. You can just see some. The thing that really hints to it is among the big old stone. There's kind of the stone pillar that shoots off that ends in what could possibly be a hand. So it looks like an arm kind of laying outward or something.
I think every bit of ancient ruins on the side of the road might remind me of that wandering creature that we saw.
Sure. We should be cautious.
Are we worried about the safety of the man?
Oh, well,
Should we hurry and make sure everything's okay?
there's no chance that that's another wandering skeleton creature buried on the side of the road. Is there?
I wouldn't say no chance
I've only ever seen one of those things.
as well.
May have descended from the cloud peaks.
Never know. Like your stories.
Maybe those giant kings had some toys.
Let's just ride in a single file line, I say.
Yeah. And I go a little faster to try to catch
We
up to
can
the
make sure
the
that
dude.
if it is.
You're heading towards the
we can look at
the man.
runes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure like that dude is
Okay.
chilling.
Got the runes
Alright.
down.
So you veer off from the path,
Compare the runes. if there's one.
leaving everyone else behind.
I will also.
Okay.
And Saren's tied to me, so.
Okay,
Or
so
looped around.
so this table will head towards. As you get closer, the individual you see is sitting. He has like this stool that he has kind of unfolded, and he's sitting there next to an easel. As you go up, it is another one of these beasts that you have encountered before, and Pardon me. As far as not seeing them before, I mean, it is relatively easy to miss, especially if you've never encountered one of these before. But it's from that mildly eye-opening and scarring experience. It is true. It will probably be hard to not notice them from here on out.
I want to point out the runes, if we can see any on the hand or anything, on the arm, to Jonah, who probably paid more attention to what the runes looked like as he was on top of the thing to see if they match up or are very similar.
Well, as you get closer to do so, the artist in question looks up from his easel. Hi, can I help you?
We were just checking in on this. What's your business with this rock pile?
Oh, I'm just a curious traveler, I suppose. I noticed this outcropping last night when the sun was going down. I came by to perhaps have a little bit of shelter. And when I woke up in the morning, I realized that it was a lot more interesting than I thought. It wasn't just a typical pile of stone. So I've just been cataloging some of these runes and marking it down on these maps here. Taking a little day of rest to myself, I suppose.
And you're from around here? You've been by this spot before and haven't noticed it before, or?
Yes, I'm heading south actually from Baldur's Gate.
To Nashkel?
I'm passing through Nashkel, yes, but mainly just taking a pilgrimage, I suppose. I'm a cartographer, and so I've been kind of scouting the area and finding some interesting additions to my maps.
Fascinating.
Anything intriguing enough to mention to us? We're heading north to Baragost.
There were a couple of interesting things that I have written down on some of my my rough drafts. If you'd be interested, do you?
We don't have much, but we could probably pay you for any information that may be of use.
How I would be happy to assist. 1 second. He kind of goes down, starts going through. He has several scroll cases that are bundled together, and he opens one of them and is going through some rolled up papers.
Nice guy.
I hope this will be a fine addition to whatever map that you may have. As I'll send you a larger version of the regional map that you guys now know the surrounding area.
Sick.
As far as interesting things, there was a intriguing. It's about a day and a half's travel north of here, as you're getting closer to Baragost. But on the western side of the road, there was this small grove that I stopped in. It was a beautiful place, and it was quite a nice stop. There was an interesting looking art piece, I suppose. I don't really know how to describe it, but it was it looked like someone had come through and built some stone statues of some kind. It was very intriguing.
Did they look anything like this? Same material or anything?
No, they were humanoid. They were locked in combat, and it looked like it was a frozen scene of some kind of battle. I've never seen it before. It was all tucked away. It was very nice, actually.
Could I possibly kind of insight into what he's explaining? If this feels like something that may be dangerous. Or history, or
so.
Medusa.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
I was gonna say,
mean,
I think we're all like,
I think he explained the way that he explained it is exactly how it sounds. Where he stopped for the night in a place, and found it to be a lot more interesting. He didn't see anything of it. Nothing came of it.
No one was there.
No one was there except for some
statues.
Okay, let me get you guys this.
Well, sir, we appreciate the information in the maps. What do you usually charge?
For this one, I have a couple of spares, so this one won't be much, but I'd be happy to charge a gold for the work that I've put into this one.
Here's 2.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
this thing moves.
I will. Thank you, Saren.
Wow.
Oh!
Wow.
This one may not. If the runes start to glow, I would possibly just move away.
They're kind of friendly until you hit them.
Yeah, don't hit them. Bad move. Bad move.
I'll keep that in mind.
But they will step on you, even if they're nice. But they don't mean it.
Okay. Thank you, I suppose. I'm Ewan, by the way.
Ewan.
It was a pleasure meeting you, and I suppose I will finish up here quickly and be on my way.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks.
Safe travels. Oh,
Thanks again for that.
Jonah, by the way.
Jonah.
Yeah.
V-Day.
Vide.
Saren.
Saren. Lovely.
Good luck on the rest of your journey.
You too.
And then looking at this, does this? I know it's like crumbled and messy, but does it look like about identical to the Wanderer from before, or?
Not quite identical, but it has several similar features. Whereas it looks like it's a weird amalgamation of cut stone of different kinds, as well as like rough stone, almost like it's like if you made a if it was like a stone golem almost, but like large and lanky and shaped wildly different. And then you took tons of like just raw stone and just like packed it around random parts, like its fist, and then it had some exposed stuff before there's more.
Huh.
So it's different, not identical, but it's of similar make.
Cool. And nothing else around it. Nothing.
Nope.
Just.
It's
Cool.
just half buried in the dirt.
Well, we found our answer. Indeed. We should get back to the group. Yeah.
You head back and you
I
can.
think we were trying to like single file get to the other side during that time. So.
Oh, really? Oh, were we?
Were we not?
I didn't know we were doing that.
That was my claim. So I think that's
this
what
was
I would have done.
this was off the path. So were you also heading there? And
No, I think the idea is more
Stay
like
on the path, but
stay on the
working
path
closer
and
to
move
the-
forward and let
Gotcha.
them come back. And
Yeah.
try.
That's
Gotcha.
yeah.
Little triangle, yeah.
We're all on the same page.
Cool.
So
Just want to make sure.
you reconvene and you continue along your journey.
What did you talk with that fellow about?
Oh, well, he's just a map maker. We got this.
A cartographer.
The map. Yeah.
Very interesting. Let me see.
Yeah, here you go.
There's some interesting
And,
stuff on there.
It was.
Did that
It was
happen?
the big rock.
Goodness.
Yes, it was another stone beast.
It seems dormant. It was half buried.
Yeah, no lights or anything.
I wonder what causes them to.
I don't know. I've never seen them before. Now it's what, 2 and 4 days?
Did you see the runes? Were they the same as the other one?
I did look.
Just about.
I did make sure to
Yes,
mention
you
that
did.
I was looking
They-
for that. So
Sorry about that.
no, you're good.
You did
You're
point
good.
them out. The runes were very similar, if not
Mm.
identical.
Yeah. No, everything was about the same. A little
About the same.
differently shaped. It wasn't identical,
So
but
the runes were differently shaped, or like the carving?
The bee.
the
bee.
actual
itself.
shape of
The
the
runes were the
figure.
same.
The runes were identical. Very interesting.
There are several points marked on this map, but specifically like additions to his nicer cartographer work. If you look at the map, where the cloud peaks end, there are 2 hills it shows, and pressed between those 2 hills, like on the western side of them, right before Baragost, is an X, and that was the location that he kind of talked about and pointed to you.
What does this X mean?
He talked of a grove that sounds a little worrisome.
I got a little uneasy, but he stayed there without trouble. It's a grove of statues.
Very curious.
Humanoid statues.
Statues in war, in battle.
Well, there can be no discovery without danger.
Sure.
It may be worth checking out.
And if we manage to, I don't know,
Glean-
take a piece of one of
glean
these
some
statues,
knowledge?
glean some knowledge. Yes.
And he did say it was pretty.
He did say he's somewhat of an artist as well. He seems to appreciate nature.
Well, I'll admit that my interest is piqued.
as
No
well
rocks.
as
Cloud
a
peak.
question mark halfway along the trail on the eastern side.
Did he speak of this mark?
He did not.
No.
What is this? What does this mark mean?
I would appear it means exactly that.
Sorry, western side.
Western side.
So goes like that.
Mhm.
On the western side between the hills, there's the X, and then on the same western side, so it's southwestern. There's
Just-
a question mark.
The question mark is closer to us or
It
farther
is
away?
it is closer.
Okay.
So
Did you say more southwest?
it's more southwest, yes.
Okay.
So along the path, it looks like by
So it's like there's
early tomorrow or in the evening tonight, you'll approach the question mark,
Mhm.
and it will be pressed up against the cloud peaks, it looks like.
So if there's like these two hills, the question mark is at like 7:30 and the X is at 9 o'clock.
No. Yes. Sorry. It's yeah, it is like that. I had the clock positioned in a weird place, but then I was like, yeah.
This seems off the path a ways, but if there's one thing I've known is cartographers are pretty diligent in their seeking out. If he marked it, it may be worth also checking out, especially if it could be a place to stay.
Yeah, looking at the map, how much would I estimate would we be adding on to our time if we were to stop at both of these places? If we like swung
Blue
around?
is the question mark, red is the X.
Cool.
It is not, looking at the map, it is not very far off the path. It looks like it will probably be an hour excursion
Wow.
there and back
Cool.
if you were to just stop by.
I go, I think we have enough feed to keep our horses going if we wanted to go to these places. It might be worth looking through, especially if we still are unsure of our entrance into Candlekeep as of now.
DM, is
Yes.
there grass along the road?
There is, yeah.
So, worst case scenario, I mean, there's plenty of feed around, natural
grazing.
feed, if need be. But I agree. I think we're probably all right.
Yeah.
Off to your right, the grass gets taller as it presses into the field, and there's not as much leading up against the mountain, but there still is stuff.
We should graze the horses the first night in case it gets more sparse towards the mountains.
That's true.
It's a good idea.
But my vote is for that, and I point to the X on the map.
I think we should probably see both of them.
I agree.
Aye.
I'm not the one who's in a rush.
I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, we don't have a wagon. If we
Yeah.
cut to the question mark, we could theoretically just go northwest up to the X, and
Aye.
it shouldn't take too much extra time, just without a cart or anything extra.
And I am in a hurry, but the thing is, if we get to Baragos and don't have a way to get into Candlekeep, then we're going to be backtracking, so might as well see if we can find anything on the way.
Sounds like we have our answer.
Perfect. Any objections?
It's so satisfying.
It is. Yeah. As you continue along the path, as you're getting close to your 10 hours, you've taken your breaks kind of here and there. You start approaching where the question mark was. Do you veer off the path? Is what the plan is?
Do we want to approach tonight or
It's a good question.
graze and hit it in the morning?
Well,
You had left at about 8, so 12 hours would be 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would be... Oh, I can't do math. Hold on. So by noon,
We're about,
it would be... it's about 8 o'clock again.
8
Sorry.
o'clock again.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
why I didn't just do the math the quick way. We're at 12 hours is
12 hours
exactly
is-
back where you are.
Right, so it's getting dark.
Yeah,
Again, we're
well,
not math
Yep.
people.
I know it is
really.
that's
Getting-
embarrassing, but it's okay.
darker, but I don't know. I feel spry and lively.
It's
If,
the horses who need to rest.
right, so if we maybe tie them out here onto a post or something.
along the road.
Well, close to where we're going at least. I mean, we can bring them with us and just, give them
Aye.
a pat to get out if we need to, but
The last thing I want is to not be able to make our delivery of the horses and no money.
Agreed.
that would be a shame.
Well, if it is a dangerous place that we adventure towards, it may be less dangerous to investigate now instead of camping near it.
This is true.
I thought as well.
I'm for going in tonight. The dark may actually give us an edge.
Mm-hmm.
We can try to approach as quietly as possible.
Yeah.
I'll look down at my armor.
And our clopping
Yeah.
hooves.
Right.
Do we see anywhere kind of off where
Yeah,
it looks
you-
like we could maybe...
Especially since it has been pointed out by the map, it's starting to get more difficult now that the sun is setting. Luckily, the sun rise. Oh no, it's darker because of the cloud peaks. So it's more difficult to make out, but you can see there is some kind of ruin or something off the path. Just like, looks like a building, maybe two.
That may be the question mark.
It looks to be that was probably what he marked on the map.
I will say that as the darker it gets, it doesn't get pitch black around us because I am putting off a small, like 5 foot, very dim light, but it's still notable.
Yeah.
So I do
You are-
mention like
you are the-
element of surprise.
You are the candle man in
I'm
this
the candle
case.
man.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, we don't want to give up stealth for blindness, so if anybody can't see, we can just...
Right. We seem to be able to handle ourselves. I don't think
Exactly.
stealth is necessarily a deal breaker in a scenario like this. We don't even know if there's anything.
Yeah,
there.
it's a question mark, not an exclamation point or anything, you know.
Or a
The
sword.
armor helps anyways. It covers it. I'm like a lamp.
It's too bad you wore your armor today.
What do we think we should do? Should we ride up?
Let's check it out. Let's just see. I'll be torch out.
You light a torch and approach on horseback or on foot.
Well, let's get close to the buildings, like within eye
Yes.
shot, and then I think we should try to like put a post into the ground and tie them up.
I will also, as we're riding closer, Saren, I'd maybe have your bow ready just in case. As I'm kind
my
of
bow
leading her
ready?
horse, if she has hands available.
Yeah, I can get prepared to be ready.
After about 20 minutes, it's about 1.5 miles off the road, so you're not too far from it now, but you're closer, and you can now make out in the setting sunlight it is a single ruined building, although a larger one. It looked like it used to be like a chapel almost of some kind.
Not good.
It's shaped in a similar kind of way, but there's a crumbled tower off to one side, and then the remains of a foundation off to the other. So it looked like it used to be two buildings that were connected, and then a tower off to the side.
That's on
What do we think?
I think sword in one hand, torch in the other, and start walking.
Have we dismounted?
Towards it? I think we're dismounting and tying our
Dismount.
If he's got a torch, I'm shielding.
Deal.
I have my bow at the ready, and I'm gonna cast Protection from Good and Evil
Okay.
on
I would
V-Day.
also like to use my divine sense as soon as we approach the outside of the building. So that's 60 foot.
You approach.
Divine sense is blocked by full cover, so anything in the building would be detected.
Well, as you approach, it from some positions it would be full cover, but several of the walls of these buildings are completely missing. It is an open space with basically all that's remaining of the initial building is the cracked stone floor, and then the first two walls, and even the second one it's only like a pie slice of a wall. But you enter in through the doorway, and it's a nice space. It's protected from the wind. The architecture is a little strange. It looked like it was very ostentatious at a certain point, almost to the point of it being a little like too crowded in here. Like, oh, there's like a weird chunk of a pillar that used to be here, and like, why would they put one right there? Like, they don't need it. The retaining walls are strong enough, but it's interesting. It's just kind of quiet, and it's always interesting kind of seeing the long forgotten buildings of time.
Aye, 'tis.
No celestials, fiends, or undeads.
No, there are none.
Should we maybe check the tower as well? You said there was a crumbling tower kind of off
Yeah.
the building, right?
Is anybody keeping an eye on the horses?
I think no. They're nearby, but if we're all inside, then they wouldn't be watched. No.
Kane, you notice in particular where a wall is completely gone, there is still the crumbling remains of a doorway, like an archway. And as you just kind of approach it, there are markings. There are runes that are carved into this doorway. Looks like they're hidden in the design almost, but they are conjuration based.
Do I recognize what this might entail? Is this a portal of sorts, or?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
In the meantime, I like to look for secret doors.
Okay, make a perception check or investigation.
Secret rooms.
If you beside the trash can, there's little.
A 23. This is definitely, although it is a nice doorway, it probably served a purpose as a secret portal doorway as well.
Well, probably not anymore.
The runes seem to be intact, if not a little fragile. So you could probably finagle it a little bit and try and see what comes of it. It's missing its key, its catalyst, basically. There's something that needs to be done that is not obvious to you at the moment to activate it.
I'll look around.
Okay.
I'll go check out the tower.
Okay.
While we're
Actually,
looking around.
sorry, but I didn't mean to. I'm not gonna like keep this a secret or anything. I'll just say, hey, I found a doorway with some somewhat familiar runes.
Runes. I stopped knocking on the floor. I got a 3.
Talking on like a rock.
So I have an ability where I can learn the nearest location of a planar portal once a rest, so I'm going to kind of tap into weird, like trying to recognize if that might be what this is.
You take a moment to concentrate and you close your eyes for a second. The soft starlight freckles begin to blink out. When you open your eyes, and a soft blue light is emanating from them as you do a once over, and you see that there is, in between the doorway, there's a tightly, it's like there's a soft shimmer in the air, in a tightly sealed crack almost. You know when you like look at a single crack in like a glass window or something, how from a certain angle it's like flat, but from the other you can see like the dimensions of it and how thick the glass is. It's like that, but kind of shimmering in the air.
Something wrong?
I think we should get this open.
Open? What do you mean?
It's
A secret door.
my guess is portal.
You look around, and with the 23 Arcana, there is a stone missing from the archway that has been removed from the plaster. But you look at it, and the plaster is intentionally placed so a stone can fit in there.
I don't know.
How familiar could I be with this missing stone?
I mean, in your studies of conjuration magic, you do know that often with portal tech like this, there's a specific stone with a rune that would have a rune carved on it to kind of fit into place and act as a key, exactly, to open the rift.
Could I locate it magically?
It probably would have, if you had locate object, you could definitely do that. Hello everyone, your friends at Tackle the Beholder here. With another quick mishap leading us to some lost audio, the cast will help put the pieces back together of what happened in this missing portion of their exploration. At the base of these forgotten ruins, the team spreads out to find other clues of how they could open this closed portal and unlock the secrets that it may hold.
Jonah searches the tower, and after scaling its crumbling interior, he finds an old study filled with dusty spell components, ruined tomes, a fragile journal in an unknown language, and one of the keystones Kane theorizes might open a rift.
Upon finding more cracked keystones, the party uses them to unseal a secret portal to the interior of a small extra-dimensional tower. Its comfy interior, warmed by the light of a nearby hearth, invites them all to explore and discover many small trinkets and tokens, which they decide to take ownership of. I mean, obviously the original owner is no longer around, right? Right?
Among their new treasures, they find 2 unknown potion bottles, some magic robes that will fit the size of any wearer, a new axe for Dane, and of course, some new books that might just serve them well on their journey to the library citadel.
Ronan naps in a soft chair, Saren magically dances in the air, and we head to our break after a thorough sweeping of this small wonder tucked away and lost to time.
The day grows old after all, and there's still a lot of traveling to do.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Welcome back. So, as you all are still within the interior of this this strange portaled tower of some kind, some of you outside, what's the plan?
I think we're done.
I mean, a nice camp.
I'll
I'll
tell
tell people about it.
I also will.
Remind me, what did you write down as far as stuff that you got from it? I just want to make sure you didn't miss
As
anything.
far as stuff that I got, I have. Sorry, I can't tell what that says.
Wonderful.
Complete rune walk. I may have meant to write rock and spelled the word.
Okay. We'll
2 potions, question mark, a strange rod, 2 fitting cloaks, and special spell components.
The raw.
And then I've got
okay.
spellbook and the other robe of one size fits all.
And complete. That must mean to say like complete rune rock, and for some reason I spelled out WALK.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no, that checks out. That was about everything that was in there.
The rune walk is a great dance move, though.
Ronan is still slumped in the chair.
I'm right outside the portal. If anybody comes out,
Yeah.
I point them to the camp.
So you,
I'll
you'll
wake
see.
up Ronan.
Yeah.
We leave him.
It's alright for good.
Anybody who sees it, there's a nice little fire set with stones around it to keep it controlled, and then there's some not super comfortable but functional blankets around the outside to sit around, and there's room for bedrolls and whatnot.
Is there anything else you wish to do, or are you all
I'm ready to go.
yeah
Just
packing
hop
up
on the
for-
horse and get
for
to
the night?
town if y'all are ready.
Well,
It is.
I think we should sleep
Late.
first.
Okay.
And then we still have one more location tomorrow, but as long as we hit it early in the morning, we should make it to Varagos relatively soon. On target.
How long was I out? Probably less than an hour. Oh. Onward.
Onward as you go to bed.
I will start kind of fiddling
Mhm.
with my stuff a little bit. I'm gonna set up alarm.
Nice.
You said we've got partial cover with the camp, correct?
Yep.
So I'll kind of go around to where people would probably approach from, where the road comes from, and set it up
Okay.
20, 30
So
feet.
rather than surrounding you, you're kind of surrounding the general area where, like, the entrance would be
Right.
the most accessible. Okay, makes sense. As you take a moment to you pull out your new sword, and if I may, you pull out your sword, and as you touch it to the ground, there's a slight silvery light that leaves a trace as you walk around, slowly tracing out the area of your alarm spell, attuning to the space around you. Dane, as you're sitting there, the axe that you have is very beautiful. It's got this it's got a heavier pommel, but a very nice oak handle. It's a nice polished wood, and one of the axe heads, the frontward facing one, as there's a slight curve to the handle. The frontward facing one is larger than the backward facing one, but it is a battle axe.
okay, like a half moon and a spike.
Not necessarily a spike. It's more of a half moon, but like the top half of it is goes up a little bit more, and then this one is just like a smaller half moon. But yes, you all have that at your disposal. You don't quite know what it does, but you have been told that it's magical. So, as you all bed down for the evening in the warm summer night, it's a little colder than the interior of the place was, but it's been a nice camp that's been set up for you. So, does anyone want to take watch at all, or are you comfortable with the alarm spell?
I had a
Works
little.
pretty well.
I had a little nap. I can. Yeah.
If you want to.
Saren's already asleep.
Don't sacrifice your rest, though.
I'll be
Swaddled in a
fine.
cloak.
I'll wake somebody up if I need to lay down.
I can take the second watch.
All right.
You all bed down for the evening. as you are humming to yourself by the fire, thinking of the way that things kind of went out through the day. It was kind of a not super exciting day for you. It had a couple of ups and downs, but it was a very nice nap. Go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
A 21? Yeah. Okay, I thought that was a 3. Okay. Yeah, 21. Your watch goes by uneventful. You do catch a couple of shooting stars, though, up above the mountains.
I made a wish.
Wonderful. Your watch comes to an end, and you can wake up Dane.
Dane, you're up.
All right. I pull my blanket over my shoulders and I smoke my pipe. And I stare into the fire.
As you stare into the fire, I will also give you this opportunity, if you so wish, to study your weapon a little bit and see what you can glean from it.
I do.
Make an Arcana check. Basically, without the identify spell, you can take a short rest to try and discern some of your items.
And it's not like an attunement kind of.
It may be, it may not be. If for most things, if you attune to it, then you do know the properties of it.
Right.
But I just mean generally speaking.
Cool.
9.
A 9. Okay. Luckily, this is an attunement thing, so you're having a hard time, but you're like, do you choose to attune to it?
Yeah.
Okay. I will send you that item card.
Okay.
Exciting.
I hope it's cursed.
You will certainly find out now, won't you?
It's a -3 battle axe. Now it's permanently a piece to your hand.
Oh, sheesh. My phone does this weird thing when I'm cropping an image where it's like, it does it like differently than how I've cropped it in my hand. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like, that's what it looks like, and then it's definitely not like that. Your watch comes to, dang it. Didn't crop it right. Your watch comes to an end, Dane. And it's not quite morning yet.
There you go, man.
Dill.
Yes.
Dill. It's time for your watch.
My what?
Your watch.
My watch?
Hi.
I gotta stay up and do shit?
You have the third watch.
You're terrible. Terribly, fiendishly convincing, but terrible.
Good night, Dill.
Good night. That's an interesting, is that a new toy you have?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what it does.
So at this point you do figure out what it does.
Oh, look at that.
You can look at it. Well, you'll have to tell me about it in the morning. And he flitters up to the top of the wall and just starts taking watch. Dill's watch comes to an end, and you all wake up that morning.
Nice.
With the time that you bedded down and the 8 hours of sleep that you needed, it is early in the morning. Probably about 6 o'clock or so by the time you all are up and at 'em.
Alright, next up, Spooky Grove. I've already put stuff on my horse, my bedrolls, like, away and everything.
I'm pressing my feet into the ashen fire as it's kind of just dead now, making sure everything's out and no brush will catch after we leave.
You're doing your Boy Scout thing, just making sure you're leaving no trace, and
Only you can prevent forest fires!
Are we gonna seal up that portal?
Oh.
Yes.
I assumed that you took the stone out of it when you left.
Yeah, that's what I also
Yeah.
had assumed. And before we leave, I would like to bury it, as I indicated in the note that I left.
Wonderful.
Kind of behind the arch.
Just right in the dirt, right behind the
Right
archway.
behind the arch. Kind of off to the
Saren
side.
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Just saying, Saren gets up very groggy and not used to waking up this early, unlike you, and is just kind of cursing in Sylvan, or at least complaining, just kind of muttering
That's
and
the
trying
spirit.
to get up. Not an early bird.
Not an early bird.
Alrighty. Hop up on my horse. Hello, Jasper.
Nice.
I named mine Jasper.
I'm sorry. It is slashing damage. It is not bludgeoning damage. I hastily typed that out earlier.
Doi.
No, he's texting me clarification. I don't want to text back because I want to focus on the game. But as you start to make your way, it is a bit of a cloudier day. It is not full cloud cover, but we'll probably be getting close to that. The gray morning greets you as you begin on your journey. Is there anyone that's taking kind of the lead to?
I'd say me and Saren
I can do it
take
again
the
if
lead
nobody-
today. Me and Saren can take the lead today.
I'd space out the rope between us a little more today.
Okay.
And
Give
her little pointers, not like spending any like effort really. Focus more on getting us where we need to go, but
Like a kid with a backpack.
throwing pointers here.
Like it's like a little monkey on your back.
It is a lot like that. Yeah.
Good. For the record, my horse's name is Chicken.
Oh, that's funny. Mine is Sir William.
So Sir William,
I knighted
Chicken,
him.
And Jasper.
Jasper. There's
True
Bella.
also mentioned Bertram and Spot, so
that's
Yeah, I
choose
just
from
kind of
those.
improv.
that's the rest. So do you want Bertram or Spot?
I'll take Spot.
I feel like I probably bestowed the
Bertram,
name.
Chicken, Sir William, Belle, Jasper, and
Pretty simple
Spot.
gods.
Go ahead and make a perception check as you're in the lead. You are helming this.
12.
12. Okay. In the first handful of hours, in the early hours, you don't notice much as you're a little distracted, giving Saren some tips on how to ride. Yeah, it's a pretty uneventful day up until the first handful of hours elapses. It's now around noon, I would say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when you probably decide to take your first break. As you enter in a small clearing in the plains and give a moment for your horses to graze before continuing on the journey again. The day is... This is a quicker jaunt for us, as this day is pretty much uneventful. Because you got such an early start, by the time 12 hours elapses, it is before sunset, and you have kind of approached the two hills in which behind you know there is a grove of some kind.
Nice. Looks like we're almost there. Based on at least what the map maker gave us.
I
don't see any point in trying to approach stealthily.
Nah, let's just go in. We have enough horses, we make enough noise.
As you ride up towards the hills, you can see that there is a very small grove behind these two large hills, but it is not visible from the road. Because you know it's there, you're able to pick it out from an earlier point. And as you approach the space between the two, it is a serene kind of feeling. It's one of those small pockets of the world where it's like, oh man, this is so just naturally beautiful, seeing the symmetry of the hills and the darkness behind the trees as you press in. As you enter the grove, you notice that it was once cobbled, what seems like a relative a relative time ago, but has since been consumed by the surrounding brush. But you press on in until you find yourself in a promenade of sorts, a centralized ringed area of trees, and in there is plenty of open space, but in the surrounding foliage there are plenty of statues of men and women of different lineages and sizes, all locked in a strange sort of combat. It seems everyone has a partner. Some people have two partners, but they're all facing each other in a beautiful motif, if you will.
I would like to touch into my divine sense again.
Okay.
So anything affected by the hollow spell or celestial fiends or undead.
By the hollow spell, you said?
Oh.
Let me check that real quick. Let me see if the hollow spell affects this thing. While I get to that, you do not sense any presence of celestials, fiends, or undead.
Kinda spooky.
It is. I'll dismount and kind of step closer to the scenes. Just get a good look.
Yeah, despite your initial fear at what he said, you approach, and it is obvious that these statues are carved. It is not very beautiful in their designs. They are not exactly rough, but they were definitely all made at the same time. It was a mass order, it seemed. By who, you're not quite sure, but it is still beautiful. It's just not like that is obviously a petrified person.
Right.
It's not like frightening or realistic.
You do recognize that this is a hollowed area. The surrounding 60 feet from the center point is a specified area. You're not entirely sure what for or what that entails, but
I would relay that. This is solid ground.
What?
What?
What does that mean?
V-Day probably knows. What does that mean?
So you know that a hollowed area is a designated point. There is a hollow spell, or for V-Day's perspective, there are certain types of magics that can consecrate a specific area. This specific area helps ward against extraplanar entities from entering without permission, and from those within, it protects them against their effects, such as being charmed or frightened or things like that. You know that most times there is an additional effect, although you're not entirely sure.
Okay, so I'd relay all that. It's basically an area of protection against beings not from here.
Interesting.
Am I okay?
Yes, you're fine. And Dill is also fine.
Okay. Thanks. I was like,
How am I
oh, shoot.
How am I doing?
You're good too. You're all good. You're all good.
Oh, let's just can't go in. We're like, no.
V-Day. Actually, no. Sorry. Continuing.
Just looking around. Just kind of looking at if these warriors seem like they were crafted based on any one in particular or any like nationality of fighter.
Go ahead and make an insight check. Not insight. History check.
Art history, to be exact.
Yeah. Go ahead and add your art history modifier.
So that is a 7.
A 7. You are unfamiliar. You don't see any particular type of correlating themes or regalia or anything between them. But it is a surprisingly warm space. It is naturally enclosed by the trees, and there's the warm summer breeze that comes through stays here.
Do I sense any unease being on this hollowed ground?
No. It is a good hollow. It is a comfortable space. It is. I think you might be a little skeptical, personally, but no, you don't feel anything strange.
Well, I think we may have lucked out, actually.
Yeah.
We may be safe here.
I know we were worried about this area, but seems like it might be the perfect and safest place to bunk down for the night, actually.
Saren, as these two are talking back and forth, it takes a second for you to click into it, but as soon as you recognize it, you're floored. They're both speaking Sylvan.
So
you hear
How are you guys doing
Dwarvish.
What?
You were speaking
You're hearing Primordial.
like fluent Sylvan. Like I can understand you, you can understand me. We're speaking in Sylvan right now.
I don't think that's true.
You hear them speaking. You hear them speaking in Primordial to each other.
Actually,
No, I hear Dwarvish.
I promise my comment is not
What?
very fluent.
What do I hear?
You're speaking in Sylvan to me.
You hear the language of your base language, so you hear Common.
You hear it too, right?
Everybody's talking in Primordial.
I don't know Primordial. You're speaking to me in Sylvan.
Very neat.
well, this.
It must be a sacred magical effect of this holy place.
Allows everyone to communicate.
I think you're all messing with us.
I would like to reach into my
Your accent is
pack
good.
and pull out the spell book
The spell book?
and see if I can read it.
You cannot read it still.
You what?
See, it seems
Apparently
that
it doesn't transfer to reading.
Would be nice.
it seems the magic of this grove is for spoken languages, almost as if it focuses on your tongues. That's the name of the effect.
I'd like to just really quick, like and trying to figure out the environment. I just like take my fingers and make a small little bead of light, like a small little beam of light, casting a cantrip.
Yeah, you send a small firefly-esque just bead that
Kind of like a
goes off in the
flare, is
trees.
it?
Yeah, as it you send it into the trees really quickly, and there's a brilliant flare as the light peeking between the leaves leaves a dazzling display. But you don't see anything in particular.
And I just let it go immediately after. We can cast spells.
I mean, I would hope so. Seems like, I don't know.
What is this babble we've stumbled upon here?
This is really weird, but also very cool.
Sometimes there are no explanations.
Well, I wonder if people intended to meet here. People who didn't necessarily speak the same language.
A council of some sort?
Right, if it was has been a recurring meeting place for people as such.
Maybe the giants.
The giants?
From
Maybe.
his-
If they were actually up in the mountains, maybe this was somewhat of a meeting ground for ambassadors of peoples.
Jonah, show me where we are on the map.
And I point
How
to
close
the
are we to
X.
Baragost again? Like
You are about a half day's journey.
half day's
It's
journey.
the red one on the...
Yeah.
It's you've done. It is Baragost? Yeah, it's the red one on the map.
Yeah,
Sorry,
cool.
I was like Baragost. I didn't mark that right.
We're near
No,
the
you've
sea.
you've been traveling for about 24 hours now, and so with the breaks that you've taken, you have probably a 9-hour trek.
Sure. The fact of the matter is, we're relatively close to the Song of the Morning, the temple of Lathandar and Baragost.
It is.
I wouldn't doubt that this is where a council would meet, considering its importance.
Interesting.
We're near the sea, correct?
a couple miles out. By a couple, I mean like 50-ish.
Does it seem like there are any designated... I know you said it looks like it used to be cobbled, but which directions or any direction does it look like there are trails coming in or out of this grove?
There's the trail that you came in, and then there are none others that you can see.
So just from the road. Strange.
Well, Baragost, I mean, the temple itself is the most consecrated site south of Elturel. I had to read it.
Yep.
Make sure I got it right. So, if anywhere was going to be a place to meeting, this is where it would be. Or at least in this area.
Well, I'm not particularly interested in running into a council of various people, but this does seem like a relatively safe place to spend the night.
I agree.
As long as we keep watch and can notify each other. It doesn't sound like these people are, well, unless these were the people. I don't think they're violent. These seem like, I don't know, garden gnomes more or less.
Could I check, see if there's any signs of like wear or age, just to try and get a rough idea of how long these statues may have been here?
It's easy to see. You're not quite sure about how long they've been there, but they are definitely weathered by, it looks like there are some pockets where flat surfaces have been hit by rain and slowly eroded over time. Details are not as sharp as they probably used to be, but you have no idea how old it would have been. It's moderate signs of wear and tear.
Hallowed ground. I mean, we have no idea of knowing how long this area has been this way. This could be an ancient meeting place, for all we know.
It does seem safe though, and it is nice to be able to
I agree.
clearly understand everyone, so I don't think this would be a bad place to rest down for the night and kind of gather our bearings for the morning.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep our secrets to ourselves, I suppose.
I suppose.
Is there anything that you do before?
I'm going to gather some sticks and just produce flame, make it comfortable.
Sure. You can.
You have to set the pit for in you. Oh, whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Why? What's wrong?
You're doing it wrong.
Are you always this annoying? No, just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. She did not say that.
Yikes.
Retcon.
He stones around it. Set up space just for everybody. He's like put a post into the ground for the horses to be tied to.
I definitely wander around a little bit, see if I can find kind of like, if I can find a place that might be producing this spell, like any runes or any sort of like magical thing. And I don't have detect magic or anything, but I'm just kind of wandering, kind of keeping an eye out for anything that might be like, this is a magic stone that casts tongues. She's very curious about this.
Yeah. You don't find anything. It's just a nice place, yeah.
Okay.
There are a couple of stone benches off to the side. Like there are 4 of them in particular, all facing towards the center, but it's just a nice little, it's like a park centerpiece, you know? It's like that, but if it was completely surrounded by trees.
Okay. I'll do it. I'm gonna burn another detect magic.
Okay.
I mean, it's
you
been
can,
like a day.
Curiosities.
Yeah. It's another completely engulfed magical area. As part of the hollow spell, it's completely surrounding you, and you look past that. You brush it all off to the side, and there is nothing more necessarily.
Okay, I would like to walk kind of back down the path and see kind of where it starts. Roughly how big this area is.
So this area is about 50 feet in it's about 50 feet in diameter, I think, and it's ranges out about 10 feet more after that, so it's a 60-foot radius. Sorry, I said diameter. It is, I can't even do math right now. It's big, okay? It's just on the inner circle.
It's big, okay? It is large.
I'm tired. I need to eat. It's okay.
Gotcha.
But it is just in this clearing, is what you notice.
Just for the sake of knowing, I may take my sword and just kind of casually just draw a line, kind of in the path or near the path, just to mark where that hollowed ground ends.
Noted.
Just in case.
Cool.
And then I'll head back. I didn't find anything good, so.
Oh, I can take first watch tonight.
I'll take a watch tonight as well.
Great.
If nobody else wants to, I don't mind it.
I can also. I haven't taken a watch yet, technically.
Okay, I'll sleep then.
I can do it.
Well, okay. No, great idea. That's a good idea. Good idea.
I will cast Alarm again before I go to bed.
Okay.
And I'll, instead of doing an area, I'm going to kind of once again make a tripwire almost.
Perfect.
And it'll be inside the hollowed ground, but just kind of right where this grove kind of turns into the path. Across the path.
Perfect.
V-Day. I'm gonna pull V-Day aside quietly when we're kind of getting ready for rest and stuff. And are you taking second watch?
Yes.
When you wake up Saren, will you wake me up too?
Yeah.
I'll just
Of course.
keep an eye out as well.
I would like to just clarify, I am not, like, this alarm is for any movement. I'm not, I'm not saying that these guys won't set it off, because I think you can do that, correct?
Yes.
You can specify creatures too.
Yeah, I think you can exempt a couple people.
Yeah, but I'm not exempting anybody.
Gotcha.
I want to wake up if someone is leaving.
Are you telling us about that? Or
No.
Are you just cool?
I don't explain that
Secrets.
it's. I mean, I'd explain, I guess, that it was an alarm, just for the sake of watches. But.
You all bed down for the evening. You said you're starting the first watch. Okay. Make a perception check.
Poking the fire. 2 total.
I'm really
one.
interested in the fire.
Nice. With a 1. Perfect. Yeah, you're very interested in the fire. You also take a moment to reflect on the arcane intricacies of this place. You've seen a lot of wonders in this world, and this one is stumping you, and you're not sure if you like it or not. The way that it's kind of tricking your brain. You take watch for a couple of hours, and Yeah, I guess you don't notice anything.
Cool.
Your watch comes to an end.
It's your turn.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of shake myself off.
Yeah.
Just have my sword on me. I would kind of grab a stick or a torch or whatever we've got, and I'm just gonna kind of walk, and check out the statues with torchlight. Just kind of appreciate them while I'm looking through the forest. And
You have to press off the cobbled bits for a little bit to just by a couple feet to get there. But as you do, you press in and you push through the foliage, and you give them an inspection. They are mildly overgrown and partially swallowed by the landscape around it. As you kind of make your ranks around, looking about, you begin to notice that although you have been woken from your sleep, you are feeling wonderfully energized. So it's just something that you note. Go ahead and roll a perception check for your watch.
Not one.
Wow.
Okay.
That's for a total of 3.
Oh, still rolled higher.
Still no.
Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. Your watch comes to an end.
Gives the giants just enough time to just sound the alarm. I'll throw it on the ground like.
I'd kind of nudge Ronan. Just give you a nod, and then I'll go kind of tap Saren on the shoulder as well. Here, I think Ronan's gonna stay up with you too.
Okay.
You told her that I'm up to you. Okay.
And then lay down.
You head down to bed. It takes a second to wipe the sleep out of your eyes, but as soon as you take a deep breath in of the warm air, and you are fully awake.
Do I have any trouble going back to sleep?
A little bit. It's not terrible, but it's not like you're slowly going back to sleep. You just drift off into unconsciousness suddenly.
My only reason for wanting to be up was just because Saren.
I get you.
so I'm happy for you to make. If you need to make a perception check, I'm happy to just assist. I don't need to make any checks.
Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
Okay, perfect. Because Saren is weird. Okay, cool. Sorry, I did not have my character sheet open. Perception check with. Okay, that's a 22.
22. Okay, noted. As you two are sitting near each other next to the low flame, you can converse if you wish, or we can move on to whatever.
I mean, I might just be making like small talk and stuff if I know that you're awake. If you want to talk about anything specific, we can roleplay. But she's probably just excited to be able to talk and understand you, with clarity.
Absolutely.
So just kind of the same old, unless you have anything you'd like to discuss.
Nothing specific. Although I would say that at some point he might play with origami and then remember why he sucks at origami as the paper burns away.
I might try and help him. I don't understand origami, but she might have you kind of verbally walk her through some things so she can fold.
There was a guy who said it was terribly therapeutic. It is terrible at being therapeutic for me.
But so I imagine we get bored enough where it's like you're trying to explain how to fold things, and Saren's understanding but not understanding, and just trying to you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm a patient teacher.
Okay, so maybe we make a few little animals before the day is up, the watch is up.
Very nice.
After an hour of brief introduction and then of mild cursing under your breath as you try and figure it out, you do begin to notice deep in the forest somewhere there's just every once in a while just a twinkling blue light.
I want to go check
and then a
it
pink
out.
one.
Even if you make the left fold, you
I'm like, do you see that?
As you move to the edge of the clearing, you can see it's deeper into the forest, into this clearing.
I take my bow, and you can come with me if you want.
All right, so, Sarah and the alarm.
You did not set the alarm around. You set it on the path.
It's just across the path to the road.
Yeah. So she presses into the forest, not tripping the alarm.
We don't trip the alarm?
No.
Nice.
And you are coming with me?
Yeah, I don't know where you put the alarm. I just remember it.
So there's one entrance into this grove, and he put it as a tripwire wire.
No, right. I know. I'm just saying, like.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get you. You understand. He doesn't. Okay.
Mr. Ronan's just like, I don't want to wake everybody up. But he follows you because he doesn't want you to get hurt.
As you press into the greenery, there's a certain point where you definitely feel the magic leave you, the presence from behind you, as you push deeper and deeper in, and you just keep trying to get closer to that blue light, and it just blinks out, and then it's in a different direction, so you head towards it, and you can't seem to catch it or get any closer to it.
I'm kind of struggling to catch up or reach this point. I might up above like the treetops to try and see if I can locate it that way, and like float and walk down towards it if it is running, or if I seem like it's like I can't quite catch up to it, but if I can catch it from above, that's my plan. Or not catch it, but like see where it's coming from above the trees.
I get you. Spotify crashed. Generic playlist app.
I was worried we weren't going to hit it today.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for an opportunity.
No. I have to do it at least once, guys. I have to do it once.
It's our brand to be off-brand.
As Nikki's advertising.
Okay, I would be okay. I
As you take a moment to brace yourself before leaping through the tree, as you are above the trees are tall, and with your 20 feet, you're just able to kind of get over it. You can't see through it. It is dense foliage, but you kind of land on the top of the branch from where you are, and you're in a position where you still can kind of see over. In the distance of the morning beginning to peek its way through, you can see off to the west, the ocean, you think? You've never seen this ocean. And so, it's prospective and interesting, but not what's on your mind right now. You duck back beneath the trees, and you try as you like throughout your watch. You're not able to catch up to these lights. They just disappear as you get close to them. They blink for a second before fading away.
Does it seem like when I'm going after them that they are the same distance away from me the whole time? Like, it doesn't seem like, I get close and then they're...
Yeah, and it's never in the same direction. It's like you get there, and like when you get within 10 feet of where you think it would probably be as it's faded out, you are like, where is it? And now it's over there, and now it's over there.
There's definitely some frustration. And some cursing now in obvious Sylvan.
I'm actually imagining, like, for the sake of story, it's like you're doing all that, and he's pushing through Flora and actually starting to panic, like, damn it, Siren!
And she's not really paying you much mind. She's
you're
pretty
good.
determined to, like, figure out
I'm
what's
having to push
going on.
through the Flora that you're flying over, so...
Yeah.
It is about halfway through your watch when the rest of you wake up naturally. Completely rested. A couple hours early, in fact.
Wow.
No sign of Siren.
Or Ronan.
There's no visual sign, but there's lots of... Damn it! Siren! Come back!
Idea would grab his sword and
I would
take off.
sprint into the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I get my sword, like I'm picking it up and I see everybody.
I'm assuming it's full of... There's giggling intermittent.
Kane is also there to watch horses if he does want to.
Kane, watch the horses.
I was like, poor Jonah.
We'll do.
I just, like, they're running by and I just go, he got it, Kane, and I'm gonna just walk towards the commotion.
There's no clearing, but you head towards the commotion, and in the midst of trees, you're all together, all awaked and well rested. You gain the benefits of a long rest if you haven't already.
Oh, what's going on?
There are these lights, and I don't know what they are, and...
Can we see them?
You can every once in a while. It's just like There's a blink of pink, and it fades out.
Anything I would recognize?
Nope.
Sir, don't make me run like that.
Sorry.
So
Strange.
it's weird. Yeah.
Oh man. Come on.
She does not seem out of breath in any way, just like confused, like a little
And they
like.
didn't seem to lead anywhere. They just kind of appeared and disappeared.
I've been following. I've not found them.
Do we see? So you said some pink, some blue.
Yeah, they're it's just pastel lights.
Okay.
What?
Hmm?
Okay, sorry, I'm not gonna say something crucial.
No,
I
that's
didn't-
fine. I was just answering a question.
Well,
They are running, or not.
maybe it should be a trick of the light.
Saren, I think we can just leave.
Ronan,
Running.
why don't you keep chasing them?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Wait, let's head back. Let's get our horses.
Yeah. If anybody
I think we
wants
should
to-
just get on to the city.
Yeah. Anybody can play with the lights if they want, but I'm gonna head back and pack up.
Jasper.
You are in deep foliage. The horse cannot get to you.
I walk back.
It's like in the
you
Witcher
walk-
when you like call Roach, but you're like on a mountain, and it's like
Yeah, you walk back the 20 feet to get to the clearing, and there is Jasper. Okay, cool.
Jasper just looks confused.
Jasper cannot get to you right now.
Sir William, what a gentleman.
You all get on your horses as Kane has packed up the camp by now, and are heading towards Baragost.
Nice.
Are the lights still there when the sun rises?
No, you do not see it. And it is early enough that the sun has still not completely risen.
Oh, okay. But like, as soon as we kind of get back, get our bearings, like I'll definitely do like a once over of the clearing, try and find them again.
You do a once over as you're leaving, and maybe you see one, and then it's gone.
Jonah, I'd maybe mark that on the map.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Wait, does Jonah have the map?
I've been
Oh, okay.
holding on to it. Yeah.
Maybe mark down that area was solid ground.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've taken.
Could be knowledge worth.
I've had a little
With no-
side-by-side notes on the map as we've been passing. Yeah.
And the speaking.
Right.
As it is very early in the morning, with 9 hours left, if there's not anything you wish to converse on the way, you can quickly make your way to Baragost.
I'd like to talk with Dill for a little bit.
You may. Couple hours in, as the sun is now beginning to rise.
The sun is now beginning to rise.
I can see that.
I didn't realize how early we had woken up.
As perceptive as ever. It was quite early, wasn't it?
Yes, you know what I mean, Dill.
I don't really sleep, but you know.
Well, I was just thinking, I haven't slept that good since, well...
Right.
Did it remind you of...
In a way, a little bit, but
No matter.
same flavor, different dish.
Astutely put.
Thank you.
Thus concludes the conversation.
Thus concludes.
Dip? No, I'm just kidding.
Of course I eat.
Um,
Eating is wonderful.
I think today, V-Day would have Saren try to kind of be on her own.
Okay. Saren?
Immediately.
Yeah, make an animal handling check.
Crashes horse. Crashes horse. That's an 8, so it's not terrible, but
The horse controls her a little bit more than she controls the horse, but I mean, it delays you slightly. You're like, no, Saren, come back.
Chicken, stop.
Saren, you're in control. Don't
am
don't
not.
let Chicken tell you otherwise.
He did. He is. Chicken.
As you just
No.
But soon the sprawling city of Baragost starts to come into view. Now, late afternoon, mid to late afternoon, that is. you begin to see on the skyline the taller buildings peeking out amongst the more uniform ones. It's very military town-esque from what you've seen. For those of you who may have passed through Tribor and have seen the cookie cutter houses all around, this one is similar but in a different kind of fashion. They're much more modest homes, and there's a large sprawling cathedral on a hill in the middle of town. But as you enter, the streets are...
Can I say something before we enter the town?
You may.
As we're riding in, I just kind of make a general announcement. Now, friends, the son of my old friend, Keldeth, his name is Aegeus. Aegeus, is that the way to pronounce it?
Aegeus.
Aegeus. If what I've heard is correct and he is the new high priest, well, if he's anything similar than the last time I saw him, it might not be the most pleasant of interactions.
You said that's what, your brother, your friend's brother?
No, he's the son of a good friend of mine who used to be the high priest here. The point is, Aegeus is a good kid. He deserves respect, and I don't want to see any conflict arise, even if he treats us with disrespect. Is that understood?
Sure.
I'd like to see this just go peacefully. I just want to pay my respects and go. Unless, well...
Is he bad?
I'm assuming he has to be less of a punk than last time.
Yeah. As you bolt on ahead a little bit, an additional detail you do remember is the town of Baragost is known by outsiders to have no official government, and that it is the loosely termed governed by the high priest Ormelier,
right?
Which used to be Keldeth and is now Aegeus.
I would have passed this general information about the town along.
But although it is known from an outside to not have any formal government, technically they do have a council of 5 that is supposed to be running the town, but even they just immediately defer back to the Ormelier family. They have seceded, although they have kept their positions, so to speak. It hasn't been voted on or anything in forever. Because they just immediately pass on the responsibility.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I'll pass that along. And I'd also like to recall when I would see Keldath in the past, what would I do to introduce myself or greet? Was there a bow or anything like that?
So initially, you remember it was a little bit of a
snafu.
A little bit, because the title of the High Priest of Lethendar is as your radiance, and Keldath hated that, especially among friends. So you remember you didn't often refer to him as your radiance.
Your raininess?
Radiance.
Radiance.
Radiance, thank you.
There you go. Sorry. I
No,
know
you're
the
good.
I know
Okay.
the distance.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so I'll say that in history you refer to them as the Radiance or your Radiance. Keldath didn't like it, but I assume that's the default for Aegeus. So.
Yeah, wow.
I'm all for showing respect to positions of power. And, I can hold my tongue, but I don't think that we should take disrespect for no reason.
I'm simply saying there's no reason to get into a scuttlebutt in this town when we're trying to simply stop through and then go on.
Yeah, well, I agree.
Let's just try to keep diplomacy at the forefront.
And we'll let you handle the diplomacy.
You'll see what I mean when you talk to Aegeus.
Scuttlebutt.
that one will take some unpacking.
Yes. We'll get there.
As you press through the outer stages of the town, the buildings start to get closer and closer together as you press in more. They all seem to be uniform, as I mentioned earlier, except for buildings that have been taken down or retrofitted to be stores and inns. The larger buildings are very obviously more commercial than the residential buildings.
We'll look first, definitely, I think, for Damien's livery?
It is, what was that?
What's your question?
I said nothing.
Yeah.
You are able to find the livery fairly soon. It is just right kind of as the town starts to get a little more populated, but very quickly you're able to pass it off to a rough-skinned man with a rough-skinned man. Jeez. With this dark kind of orange hair. He has a tied back, and as you walk in, he is just preparing some horseshoes. It looks like he just got a delivery of some supplies. As he looks up to you. Right. Are these the horses for my brother?
Yes.
Wonderful. If you could just take them around back, I'll meet you out there and
Perfect.
and properly thank you for the journey.
Great. Thank you.
Take it around back, and he eventually comes back out with a small, not a coin purse, but he comes out with several rolls of coin. It looks like there's a centralized kind of a stamp through the center of Baragost's gold pieces, and they are kind of hung on a string that has been knotted at the end. He has 4 of these rolls in particular, and it amounts to about 40 gold pieces.
Cool.
Very heartfelt thank you, friends.
Of course.
May I ask what you're doing in this fine town?
Paying some respects to an old friend.
Oh,
We're on our way.
my condolences and my congratulations for making the trek.
Thank you. My condolences to you as well. I'm sure you knew him.
Would I?
Sir Keldath. Himself, yes.
Yes.
Not
was,
sir. Whatever the right title would have been.
You know, his
radiance.
I suppose, yes. Yeah, it was quite sad when he passed. We were all very fond of him.
I was in the north when I heard. I knew I had to make it down here at some point.
Right. Well, you'll have an interesting time finding him, I suppose.
Can you point me in the right direction?
I mean, as the high priest of Lathander for so many years, there's only one place that you would find him. And he gestures up to the Grand Cathedral.
I was hoping you'd say that. Take care, lad.
If you don't mind my asking while we're here, has the town been recovering? Just with the transition of power and everything? You can speak freely with us.
I'm sure I can. Yes. It's different, but not bad. I suppose Aegeus will... I suppose most of us are holding out hope that Aegeus will slowly become more like his father one day, but as of right now, he still has a lot to learn.
He is a punk.
He is... I respectfully decline to comment on that.
He's a lad who knows his own self-worth, but doesn't know who he is.
That's putting it plainly. Anyway, I have work to be about. Mr. Name?
Oh, Ronan.
Ronan.
Yours?
Pleasure to meet you. Damon.
Damon. Nice to meet you, Damon. Got his name wrong. My bad.
Damon's a cool name.
Damon is his last name, which is because it's the Damon livery.
Thank you, Damon.
His name is Damon.
Now.
Damon.
No!
Sorry.
You're right. His name's Damon. At least I think it was called the Damon livery. I just realized.
I definitely said Damien, but I'm sure that's because I was thinking Damon.
Yeah.
I'm Damien.
Whatever I said 2 hours ago, it's called the Damon livery.
Nice.
That's
There
what
you
it's
go.
called.
Excellent.
Sometimes in the heat of battle, you just gotta say a name of something, okay?
The actual hotness.
It's
The
like when
actual
I said the
hotness.
fountains of creation instead
Yeah,
of the
that's right.
mountains of
Well,
creation.
No, you said the mountains instead of the fountains.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
it's-
you go.
Yes.
Did he feel like he was being forthright? Or was he hesitant?
No, it was an awkward conversation. He was being forthright as much as he felt comfortable speaking poorly of the
Right.
government of this town to semi-strangers.
But I didn't get any
No.
kind of feelings that
Nope.
he's like miserable and can't say that.
No.
Okay, good.
You can probably wonder how much interaction this man actually has with the high priest. But the temple of Lathander, the Song of the Morning, that's what it's called, right? The Song of the Morning is before you. You take the short trek up there to this sprawling, dark, gray stoned cathedral with this wonderful yellow, white, and blue stained glass window in the front, depicting the sun shining brightly over. It's really interesting, actually. It's the sun is in the center of it, and the radiance of it is illuminating the different portions of the world that are surrounding it in a concentric circle. So everything's facing inward almost. You see mountains pointing upwards and forests pointing down. The ocean's off to the side.
Ronan looks childishly happy in a his young at heart way. Fills him with energy and life.
The very, very large, now open double doors at this time in the morning are supported and surrounded by support beams and white pillars of alabaster stone. And as you step inside to the very large entry chamber with incense holders, whatever those are called, it'll come to me.
Sensors?
Yeah, sensor. Thank you. There are sensors hanging in the immediate doorway and on each additional pillar as you move in. There are a handful of people currently in here praying, and a couple others milling about doing their work.
On the trek here, I would have to Saren. Let's not call anyone punks or scuttlebutts while we're up at the cathedral. Okay.
Is it bad?
Not always, but it can hurt someone's feelings. So let's just
Scuttlebutt as like a name is my
let's
favorite.
just only call people by their names.
It's a proper
And
noun, scuttlebutt.
I think it'd be good for the both of us to maybe just keep talk to a minimum and let Ronan kind of handle it.
Okay.
My goal is pretty much go straight to Keldeth's grave.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure where
I'd
that
like
is.
Somebody's milling about who doesn't seem on a mission.
Yes, there's a man there, and he looks to be he's polishing one of the sensors that he's taken down as you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. How can I help you?
Sorry to interrupt your work. I'm an out of towner traveling in, hoping to pay respects to the grave of Keldeth.
Right.
Would you be willing to give me a point in the right direction?
I absolutely can. It is if you go and he gestures back out the door. If you go around the back, there's the
graveyard.
the chapel cemetery in the back.
Yeah. All right, thank you, good sir. Appreciate it.
Of course. If there's anything else we can do, welcome to the Song of the Morning.
I step away. Sorry to be annoying about details, but rituals, anything that has to happen, washing the hands, the face, anything like that, or am I good?
Not necessarily. Not in this one, and especially not to travelers. You have known, although they're rigid in their personal traditions. I mean, it's especially with travelers, they don't mind breaking custom a little bit, and so there's nothing.
Ronan just aims to be as respectful as possible because
Absolutely.
he does appreciate it.
There's probably a wash basin as you enter the door that you just kind of wash your palms with.
Oh, that's the holy water.
Just kidding.
Yeah, unless you don't do that because you know you're made of ash and fire. So. I did just realize.
I don't really know if I'm going to be dunking my hands in water as much as I am.
Right.
But that being said, he's not like allergic to water. It's just
No,
not his
definitely.
favorite
I'm just
thing.
like
he might grab a little bit and sprinkle it.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you choose to not if you choose to be like I'm melting. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I will go to the back cemetery to find.
You head out back, and the Ormalier crypt is immediately visible, as many family members throughout the generations have passed here. You do find the newest of the graves, only less than a decade old. You find the gravestone, the headstone of Keldeth Ormalier.
I'll walk up to it and put my hand against the rock and say, "Rest easy, old friend. I'll join you in the eternal fire soon." And I'll drop a small gem at the kind of the foot of it. I'm assuming might there be like little trinkets and whatnot.
There are trinkets
like
that are
paying
scattered.
respect?
Yeah.
Yeah, dropping some treasures to carry with him into the afterlife.
Correction. There are not any trinkets and stuff.
Okay. In that case, if it seems out of place, I probably won't.
It doesn't. You see trinkets around other places, but not any in the Ormalier crypt or the Ormalier site.
Does that seem like That's weird.
Yeah, it is. It's a little weird.
Hmm.
It's a little off.
Feels a little disrespectful.
Did you go off by yourself to the mausoleum? Is it a mausoleum?
Y'all are, yeah, temple.
It is a. Forgive me on my lack of definition of mausoleum.
It's like there are the headstones, and then there's like the mausoleums, which is like the tiny little buildings.
Yeah, it is not. It is not a mausoleum. It is a. There is a site for the family that is gated off, aside from the gated off cemetery.
Okay.
I would have followed.
Yeah,
I think I would have too.
Anybody's welcome to.
Yeah.
If you guys are in there, you might notice he takes a moment. Any of you think it's weird that he doesn't have anything at his grave?
I don't know.
We can leave things.
That seems strange. I think if you'd like to offer tribute, I think that is absolutely your right.
Is it against tradition to leave back trinkets for a deceased high priest, or?
Puts down a small little gem and leaves it there. That's the thing. There's somebody with the impact that he had. That is out of the ordinary.
Maybe,
I'm gonna start walking out of the room to see if I can go find Aegeus.
maybe tributes have been collected elsewhere.
Donated to the poor or something.
Or his son.
Walk with me.
As you walk back into the Song of the Morning, you are directed, on a quick ask, you're directed towards the higher platforms in the back of the room, where there is a man standing there in perfectly bright white robes. And underneath of the bright white is just a nice sky blue kind of plain shirt. He's adorned with several things of gold, a necklace, a bracelet, some rings. And as he turns and looks at you, you notice the thinner face and dark brown hair. A lot older than you remember him looking, even though it's only been less than 10 years. It looks like age has hit him a significant amount since he took his position. Hello.
Your radiance. And I give a deep bow. If that seems like the right move.
You bow to him as he steps down to you. It's been a long time.
Too long.
Friend of my father's. How can I help you? And that's where we'll end the session tonight.
Who is this man?
Thanks for watching Tackle the Beholder.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Wizards of the Coast.
We love the Wizards of the Coast.
Oh yeah, with Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and DMG Guide.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
I do.
Big fan.
I love this game.
We'll see you next time.
Nice. I didn't know that was the last line. I'm sorry I interrupted you.